There we go. Hey, welcome everybody to Astronomy Daily Live. It's 2 hours UTC, and once again, it is time for all of us around the world, from around the world, to gather together here on this sort of a virtual porch and have our favorite consumables on hand, whatever that may be.
I'm gonna have to go fill mine up. I've been working on a Windows problem all day long. And I ran into a complete a-hole in the Microsoft community. Oh, terrible guy.
No.
That's all right.
Oh my gosh.
Mama took care of him. Not a problem.
Yeah. I can only imagine. I don't want to know.
No, you don't want to know. You really don't. You would have a whole different attitude about me.
Well, there is the lovely, sexy, talented Atta and your favorite panelist, Bobby B, in the house from Morgan City, Louisiana, United States of America.
And we have Carolina in the audience and
all
Tom.
Right.
Hey.
Excellent.
Welcome.
Excellent. Now,
let's stop. Yeah.
My machine has been acting very sluggish all day. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to close down some of these windows that I've got. So please excuse the minor delay here. Just
certainly
give me a couple of seconds to save. So I can still say that, you know, today has been an interesting day as far as news goes. But I think where I want to start is sort of where we ended yesterday. So yeah. I was showing off some Jupiter moon orbits, and I was looking at those, and I was looking at the configuration of the moons as we would see them. And I couldn't, for the life of me, figure out what exactly the geometry was. I couldn't see it. So right after the live stream, I said goodbye to all the panelists. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to look at that one more time. And I looked at it one more time, and it was there like that fast. It was so obvious.
And it's like, you just freaking have it.
So I just want to set the record straight and show you that all was exactly as expected. So here is the. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. And yeah, this machine is just being really slow. What else can I kill here? Let me kill that thing. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen. I'm going to be going out photon collecting after the live stream today. So I guess I'm sort of happy about that. The moon is sort of out of the way of Jupiter, so I feel much better about those photons not having any lunar contamination. All right, so I'm going to really slowly here move to this. Okay, so this was yesterday's configuration, as you recall. And as you can see at the bottom here, it actually still says 6:17, 0 hours UTC, right? And we've got Europa really close in, and then Io, and then Ganymede, and then Callisto. Okay. So then I showed you this plot, and I looked at this, and I said, I cannot for the life of me figure out how all four moons could be on one side. But as I said, right after the live stream, I did exactly this, and it's extremely obvious. Here these two lines here actually mark the direction to either the sun or the Earth.
Oh, yeah.
So this line on the right, that one, it's green. That is the line of sight to the sun, and the blue line is the line of sight to the Earth. They're extremely close right now because of opposition. You know, the sun and the Earth and Jupiter basically make a straight line. But as you can see then, okay, here's Jupiter, right here. Here's Europa, really close to it. There it is. Next is Io, way out there.
Yeah.
And then Ganymede is out here, 0 hours UTC, right?
Uh-huh.
And here is Callisto. So there's all four of them.
Yep.
Right?
I'd like to
Where they
welcome
were
Chuck Naglam in the chat. Cheers.
Hey there, cheers, Chuck. Nice to see you in the chat. So yeah, you know, yesterday when I was looking at this, I thought I was going crazy because it just I just couldn't see that, and that bothered me enough that I looked, you know, at it again, and it was extremely obvious. So there it is. I don't think Jupiter is to scale here. So you know, I just sort of made an arbitrarily sized dot. So, but yeah, this line over here on the right is towards the sun, and on the left is towards the Earth. So that's why, let me direct you over here. Was it this one?
And
Yeah. I think Uncle Bill posted this, but as you can see, Europa, in this case, you know, is casting its shadow on the planet, but the shadow is to the left, which means that the sun is to the right. So we're looking at this, and the sun is behind us and to our right. And so it's shining its light on Europa, and its shadows being cast on the planet. So I hope that makes sense. And that sort of proves that this line is towards the Earth and this line is towards the sun. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to clear that up a little bit, and just to really show you here. I think what we should do is look at today's. So I've actually already run all of this, so we don't have to grab any of the data or anything. But let's just look at today's configuration as it was a couple hours ago at 0 hours UTC. So we've got Io to the west, and then Europa and Ganymede and Callisto to the east. And somewhere in here, let's see if I can find it. 18th of June. I actually made a little movie. Maybe I'll play the movie I made here, just so you can see what that's all about. Oh, let's see, I think it's at the top here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is today's configuration, and I sort of changed it a little bit. So I just have the lines that are actually pointing to, you know, the sun and the Earth there now. So this darker line is towards the sun, and the lighter line is towards the Earth. And of course, here is the position of Jupiter. And as you can see, whoop, we're going to line this back up again. Let's scooch him over there. I'm going to come over here, grab him. Okay, so at 0 hours, Io is over here. So Io is actually going behind Jupiter, right? It's moving this way, but it's actually going behind it. See? And then here's at 0 hours, Europa is here, and it's coming around that way. Ganymede is over there too, and Callisto's out there too. Got to remember, line of sight from Earth is along here. So yeah, it's going to be Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, just like that. At least at 0 hours UTC. That changes a lot. So yeah, I'm partially relieved that my software does actually still work. I haven't used that in months, so I just sort of blindly ran it, and yeah, it still works. Cool. So anyway, that's actually going to be my observing situation tonight. Io is going to be getting closer and closer in. Europa is also moving towards Jupiter, but I'll be able to see it the whole time. I'll be able to see Ganymede and Callisto also, and actually, this is a pretty good time. Usually, Callisto's way out here, way out. But at least right now, line of sight, it is pretty close to Jupiter, so that actually makes it nice. I'll be able to put all 4 moons into the same field of view. I won't have to choose which ones to get or not, because when Callisto is all the way out there, wow, it's like, well, do I try to get Callisto and nobody else, or do I get the other 3 and not Callisto? So, but here I'm going to have a chance at least to be able to see all 4 for a while. So that'll be nice. That'll be nice. All right. Well, cheers to that. So yeah, some interesting pieces of news came down today that I thought that I would just sort of share, and I guess I'll share the sad news first, and that is it was I think it was revealed over the weekend. I think I heard about it either this morning or yesterday. Oh, I forget exactly. Maybe it was yesterday. That so I guess there was some kind of fire at Universal Studios back in 2008, and this fire burned some sets. I think one of the rides there was destroyed. I'm not exactly sure, and this building, and it was like, I forget exactly what it was called, but it's like building 6917. Just a building burned to the ground, right? And well, it turns out, and this was just revealed like yesterday or the day before, that building housed not only many master cut movies, but over 500,000 musical masters.
Yeah.
Anybody that you can think of from about 1930 until the present day, almost, their masters were in that building, and they're gone. They're just gone. So that's like
that was in 2008, and we're just knowing about it now.
Yes, UMG kept it a secret.
Yeah, I couldn't understand that. Why'd they do that?
It's it's really, really hard to know why, except that the proof of ownership of a piece of art like that is to be able to present the master. I have the master, therefore I own it. Well, those masters don't exist anymore. So who owns the music now?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
gonna turn really ugly really fast,
Yeah.
because this literally affected, or has just completely annihilated
Yeah.
at least the masters.
I think one of the things that I saw one time is there's a site called the Closing Logos Wiki site, and I think there was one time that when you just have Paramount and Universal rivaling for the best silent filmmaker. I don't know what happened, but while Paramount preserved their silent films, Universal destroyed most of them.
Hmm. Yeah, well, and UMG, I guess, is sort of the biggest blocker on YouTube. Um,
So
and but they've known for like 11 years. I think it happened on June 1st, 2008.
wow.
So they've known this entire time. Yet
So
they
Pagemaster just posted a link about that fire.
okay, good. Yeah, there's a New York Times article um, that is really, really in depth, and it lists some of the artists, right? And like I was saying, um, pretty much anybody that you can think of, their masters are gone, are just gone. Now, you know, everything ends, right? Those those tapes, those things are dust, right? I mean, in time, they are completely dust. That so I mean, what we're sad about, right, is just the loss of those things, because it is. I mean, you're losing a piece of art, a one of a kind piece of
So,
art.
an ad script that I'm going to put out. This is a tragedy. Elliot Roberts, longtime manager to Neil Young, told the Los Angeles Times, Young did not lose any master recordings in the fire. You can yell, you can jump up and down, you can look to insurance, you can sue, said Roberts. But if you lose a master, you're sunk.
You're sunk. Yeah, that's right.
So and the way they did this word, it's like he probably may have said something else that might be unclean and stuff. So so yeah, he'll probably like just
Probably.
like drop an F bomb or something. But you're sunk. It sums it up.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I mean, everything is doomed. Uh, you know, all things are doomed. So these things are going to come to some kind of end sometime. But the sad part is that
We
they're
all
coming.
do.
Yeah, exactly. But the
So,
sad thing
but
is
if
that it's
you lose
happening
a
now.
master, then what can you do about it? What can those artists do about it?
There is absolutely, I think, in terms of like compensation, in terms of getting something back, there's no way. There's absolutely no way to do that.
Yeah.
I
So
think
so
they
So once
actually
you lose a
did.
master, your sons could be pretty much in the wild, right?
Free.
Yeah, it's totally free at that point. Nobody owns it.
Hey,
That's a shame.
well, well, what? Weimar, Napster, welcome back. Here's that music. Here's your
Yeah,
side.
Well, like I said, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be a pretty interesting story to follow because I think things are going to happen really fast. Um,
That's it.
well, sure it
How
does.
can you sell your stuff now if you lost everything?
Yeah, I don't
I need
know.
another
You
drink.
just
I'm getting another drink.
if they let's say like if
And a
they
mushroom.
did
Getting a mushroom.
All right,
yeah,
excellent.
yeah. So like I
That'll
said,
put you in.
if they lost everything in the fire, they just don't exist.
Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't exist. Not that. Right? There's copies. Right? There's billions of copies. Um,
But you
but there is
so
no master. It's gone. It's just gone.
yeah, you lose the master, you're just screwed.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you just like not being a Hall of Fame and all that crap.
It's a major loss. Um, you know, all the all the great jazz singers. What she got there?
Oh yeah.
Admiral Nelson's
Yeah,
coconut
he's got
rum.
higher
Oh,
rank than Captain
Wow.
Morgan.
interesting.
And
Interesting.
that's her mushroom. That's her mushroom.
There you go.
Woo!
All right.
Uh,
Well, just remember this is a family show.
she's gonna grow into Super Mario.
I do remember that. Anybody with
All
a
right.
family will understand drinking. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's you know, I've been trying to think of a few of the artists. Louis Armstrong.
Oh yeah, I'm just going back, and
Tom Petty.
I might have Uncle Bill threw in, and they
Hey there,
said,
Uncle
"Yep,
Bill.
Uncle Bill, yeah, nothing. That's what your sunk means. You're sunk like in the game of Battleship.
Yep. Sunk.
When you lose your deep sixer, all your deep sixers, you're just screwed."
You're just done. You're just done. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, to see what the music industry does now. That's a hard one. So yeah, what a major loss.
God, let's get to the good news. Yeah, that's the reason I come to this chat. It's such an upper.
Yeah, what?
So great, boy.
Okay,
Well,
after you shall receive.
all right. Yes. The good news is that this afternoon I got I think it was a tweet from Tim Pickering, um, saying oh wow, the AAS just bought Sky and Telescope, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting. So I started poking around a little bit, and yeah, it looks like that is the case. The American Astronomical Society um, uh, bid on Sky and Telescope magazine, which had been
Yeah,
put
I
up
looked at
for
the article too.
yeah,
One
good.
million 125,000.
Yeah, I cannot believe how cheap they
Yeah,
got that.
that's cheap.
That is
Yeah, but they were bankrupt.
that is dirt cheap. It's just
Now,
incredible.
I like the magazine. Don't get me wrong here. I subscribed to it. Took a few months for my subscription to start coming in.
Right.
Never received, and I have not yet received my supposed free gifts I was supposed to get with the subscription.
Oh,
And I
wow.
have called them once a month for the past 5 months about these things, and they're giving me a whole bunch of crap about, well, we sent them out, but they're fourth class mail, and the mail people probably just threw them in the can. Where I live, that's not possible.
No.
Because we actually get our mail delivered in a big truck They dump it off in our community, and all the geriatric volunteers run out there, and I'm not crapping you here. This is really how it's done. They run out there. I would never volunteer for this job, and they all get the mail and distribute it to everybody.
Wow.
Yeah,
The old
and
people
it's
this.
kind of like a bit weird. That's the reason why that the bankrupt came into play. Is the reason why you didn't get that gift yet.
I don't think so. I mean, these people are volunteer for this job because they want to see what kind of mail everybody's getting. I'm no
Oh
kidding.
yeah.
And they're very careful to make sure everybody gets their mail because they want their own mail. You know, they start screwing over other people that might come back to haunt them. So I know that the mail didn't get thrown in the can, but I am going to continue. I do not give up. I'm going to continue.
Yeah.
Sky and Telescope. With my last breath, I'm going to be calling Sky and Telescope.
Yeah.
Get free gifts one way or the other.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea, and you know, I think they have been distracted for at least the past year or so, if not more. But you know, the AAS picking them up, that's really interesting. That's really, really, really kind of interesting.
That's a great
because
thing.
well, you know, the AAS though is a professional astronomy association.
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, they are in charge of a pretty substantial media thing. You know, they are the publishers of, you know, some major astronomical journals. So you know, they're a very, very important professional organization. But I'm a little curious as to why they'd be interested in an amateur thing. I mean, I think it's great. I think it's absolutely. I think that's a great match. But I'm really, really interested in seeing what it's going to look like. I mean, there's no doubt at all that Sky and Telescope will continue and very, very, very likely flourish. Absolutely flourish.
You know, it's kind of like a bit rare. It's kind of, I think what made Uncle Bill Durham say may be true. The internet revolution has not been kind to traditional print media, no matter how fine is the past. And then this last owner completely failed to make any progress at making it an internet media sensation.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's absolutely true. You know, this was a company that looks like it was just buying up um, um, content makers and not having any sense of what they were doing.
Yeah,
Right?
I think I can back up Uncle Bill on this. Whenever like the it was on 9330 kilohertz, like the WBCQ testing that new station in Monticello, Maine. They were saying about like when the Cold War was over and shut, and then you got the rise of the internet and stuff. They say that the reason why that they're gonna kill shortwave and go straight to the internet. They found out that was the biggest mistake that you could ever had. And now shortwave is pretty much like it's stable, but it's not like what it is when Jules was listening as when he was my age or something.
Yeah, well,
Or
that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Hey, you know, I was doing some cleaning up around here, and I found my big coffee bean. So I think we actually got this in Guatemala, as I recall, and it's just carved wood. It's not an actual coffee bean, although Although, wow, that would be a nice size coffee bean, right? I mean, it's yeah.
Yeah. So let's get on the subject with the AAS getting Sky and Telescope and the potentiality that Tony Darnell will be getting his next sponsor from the AAS.
Well, Bobby, that's what we've been talking about. So yeah, I think um, I think the AAS running Sky and Tel, I think that's great. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great match. Um, yeah, and yeah, it's kind of interesting because the AAS dropped Tony, so they had been sponsoring him for wow, quite a while. Um,
Tony
and
Darnell, I thought that was like usually OPT.
um, well, at least where I see him sponsor, where he was sponsored by the AAS was his Deep Astronomy um, YouTube channel. He had a couple of shows. I forget what they were called. Uncle Bill probably knows because he was always there. Um,
Yeah.
that were sponsored by the AAS, and they bowed out. So I'm not exactly sure why. I know fairly recently, Tony and OPT, what's his name? Justin. I think it's Dustin.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about too.
Yeah, they've I'm hooked up and are actually doing a podcast. It's called the oh, what's it called? Dang it! I was actually just listening to the latest one a while ago.
Tom Van Scott or Dustin Gibson.
Yeah, what's the name of the podcast, Tom? Do you remember? It's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't force it out. Arr. I'll bet you Tom knows though. Sure he does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think so.
It also sucks that Fraser Kane or OBT had to fall out with them.
Oh no, no falling out whatsoever.
I know.
In fact, Fraser just explained on his Q&A about an hour ago or so
Okay.
what's going on there. OPT wanted to upgrade all of the telescopes and the observatories and all of that so they could really make these things so they work exactly the way they want them to for these live events, because these live events are extremely
Space Junk
popular.
Podcast.
Space junk, yeah. So definitely check out the Space Junk podcast. They do really well over there, really well. Um, so yeah, and OPT is a good outfit. I think that, I mean, what I've observed is that those folks are very enthusiastic about what they're doing. They know their stuff. So I mean, I think they are doing everything right. I think they are, and they
Yeah.
they they're trying to make a dent into a market that's really locked in.
I have a question for Page Master before we continue.
All right.
Um, have you ever found like a website or another book which have the latest information of what FM station has those subcarrier audios in their station?
Ham and Shortwave Radio for the Electronics Hobbyist, first edition.
Yeah, yeah, I got that message.
Cool.
I just like hate to get that SCA receiver, and there's no SCA at all.
Yeah, that would make it kind of not too useful, I guess. So I'm looking outside, I'm looking at the wind. That's really the only thing that would stop me from doing anything today. And it looks like it's still blowing around a little bit, but the sun, is just setting now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it
Okay.
has set, but it's it's down.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Thank
I
you,
don't get.
Cake Master. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
um,
So let's get on the ball. Get on the ball. Details. Details.
what details?
Oh, we're done.
Well, I was talking about the AAS and Sky and Telescope. You were talking about shortwave radio, which I don't quite understand. So, what details do you want, Bobby?
I thought we was going to continue with the AAS. The AAS.
Well, anything else that anybody has to say about that?
No, except when I didn't get my free gifts, I subscribed to Astronomy magazine. I'll see if they send me the free gifts.
Well, there is absolutely nothing wrong with having both. There a little tiny bit of overlap, a little bit, because it's the same sky and the same
Yeah.
objects and
We
all
shall
of that.
see. I will have a direct comparison now.
You will enjoy it as well, and as I recall, it just has a different flavor, right? I mean, that's sort of the best way to describe it. It just has a different flavor,
I mean,
a good flavor.
my ex-brother-in-law recommended Sky and Telescope to me. He actually had wanted to become an astronomer when he was in undergraduate school, but I don't know, decided to get married or something. But he still does astronomy now. He's a lot younger than I am. I mean, he's only in his early 60s, but he's got a bad back. And I hear that a lot from people who handle scopes, that if their back goes on them, they can't do it. I mean, I can still handle mine. I don't have any trouble picking it up. I admit I can't run a marathon with it, but I can get out there and put it together, and that. He doesn't do it anymore, but he highly recommended Sky and Telescope. He was, big. He said, "You've got to have that." I'm giving him this stuff about all these online resources that I'm using.
Right.
That's all good. But he said, you should still subscribe to Sky Telescope. So I did, and I haven't got my free gifts.
Yeah.
But I am getting the magazine, so
Good.
That's
good.
That's good.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, cheers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if it's FedEx, I think whoever is running FedEx needs to be arrested.
Well, they're probably doing as good as they can, aren't they?
What did he say? Who has to be arrested?
The executives of FedEx needs to be arrested.
Oh, they're probably doing as good as they can. I mean, those people don't get paid much for what they do. They are under a tremendous time gun. I mean, boy, it's like slave labor and hurry up. It's really tough. I have some sympathy for them. Not a whole lot, but some.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think probably what we should do to wind this up is let's go back to Aries and see what else. I think there's at least a couple other things to probably take a look at. So, all right, I've got that pulled up here. I'm going to get rid of that window. I'll show you that really quick too. Okay, so I'll turn my screen again and go over here and push that button and push that button and that one, and here we go. Oh, okay, yeah. So just really quick, here's here's the ephemeris for HW Virginis today, and as you can see, there's an eclipse that's starting at 422 and going to 442. So I'm gonna try to grab that one. Hopefully I'll be on it like around 4, and then I'll probably watch it till about 5 or so, and then I'll get on to Jupiter for a couple hours, and then that'll be that. All right, so that's that. Let's go over here to Aries. There we are. So let's see. We are way down here. Stars, binary stars. Variable stars. I think we looked at a couple of these already. Yeah. Deep sky objects. Yeah, I remember now looking at NGC 772.
Yeah. Is
And I
the
guess we also
music
looked at
bothering you some way, somehow, or it's okay?
Nope, no problem.
Okay.
Hardly even noticed it was there.
All right.
So there's, they're calling a face-on spiral. Yeah, some kind of, I guess maybe weakly barred, but yeah. Let me take a look at that, see what that's got all about. Loosely wound arms. Has no ring and a faint bulge. 2 primary arms. It's bigger than our galaxy. Bigger than ours by quite a bit. I think ours is estimated to be about 100,000 or so. So that's a little bit bigger, almost half as big more. 235 million light years from Earth. Well, we'll find out. So let's go over to Sinbad. Let's take a look. 673. See, Baba, you shouldn't have mentioned that radio. Now it's really loud and annoying.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's that total Brian on Earth Radio that always got some bad content and stuff, and I can't follow with that.
I see.
Sometimes those funnies has unclean languages and stuff, and I can't live with that.
Yeah, well, some people can and some people can't. That's all. And yep, you have to go with what you're willing to tolerate, for sure. All right, so here we go. Here we go. So it's
yeah. Now, PageMaster, I want a PDF of that ham and shortwave radio for the electronics hobbyists, please.
PageMaster's on it. So these Sinbad is calling this an SC. So Wikipedia was talking about it being some kind of a very, very weak barred spiral, and Sinbad is not confirming that. So
fascinating.
Just absolutely fascinating. So pretty bright in the infrared, not so bright in the visible. So B and U and G and sort of R are visible wavelengths, and then J, H, and K and I and Z are more towards the infrared. So much redder, right? Brighter in the red and in the blue for sure. Which is sort of I think that's sort of typical for spiral galaxies, if I recall. So, well, let's take a look. See with our own eyes if we can decide if there's any bar here or not. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, kind of hard to tell. It is a pretty loose spiral, though. That is definitely, it looks a lot like the pinwheel galaxy. It looks a lot like that one. I think that's Messier 101, if I remember right. So yeah, pretty loose arms. So yeah, I don't know. They're calling this an SC still, but it's got these other designations in here in terms of a bar, and I don't know what these other things are. Really need to find that out a little bit better. I haven't. I don't think that I've been able to find a good reference for that. Maybe somebody in the chat has shown me before, but I don't remember. So
Yeah.
if anybody has a good reference to
If I can find that post and show it to Uncle Bill Druin, there is someone that had college but can't find a philosopher's job, a job in philosophy. And then there is somebody else that is in the apprenticeship with the electric company, and he's having a better life than that other dude. And because of because that electrician had a better life, he cut his power off.
What?
Oh.
And besides, where are you going to find a job in philosophy? Jeez. I mean, I'm sorry, but
Yeah, that's kind of a tough one. Got to admit. Anyway, all right. So, well, there it is. Let's sort of back up here. So this is the Sloan Digital Sky Survey release number 9, which I think that's the most recent one. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but that was okay. That was better. That first one was about a 4.5. The second one, Otto was about I don't know, maybe a 6.5 or so.
Excuse me, it's either 4 or 5 and 6 or 7.
Okay. Anyway, so well, there it is. Looks like there are some galaxies in the same vicinity, but
Yeah.
looks like really the only large one. This one's here, but it looks like a spiral too. So my guess is that it's probably the same size. So since it's smaller, it's got to be further away. It's my only guess.
My oldest uncle, for sure, Uncle BD, is he can do like old chords, and like he also does some good computer work, and he also can paint. He can, and my youngest uncle, he can work on like fixing the light switches and stuff, fix breakers and stuff as well.
they're not going to starve.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
Oh, so here's another.
I mean,
here's another one right there.
That baby. Wait,
and they don't need college.
No, I told my kids, look, if you want to learn to speak French, you can do that on your own, but you better learn something that you can make a living with.
Yeah. That's it.
So
That's
it is get a college, but don't guarantee a job when you do.
No, it's not
then,
true.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Then don't go to college, get the job, and you can do a better job.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I studied science, and so that was different. I could get a job, but again, I transferred from particle physics to engineering physics so I could get a job.
Hmm. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh yeah,
I mean, in graduate school is where I made the shift. Undergraduate school, I was in particle.
yeah.
Graduate
Hmm.
school,
And I think
Very
now,
cool. Cool. So yeah, these are some pretty nice looking galaxies here. That
yeah,
they're sort of
now,
on the
yeah,
fringe of resolution here, but there's some interesting structure here. I mean, that almost looks like a bar going across there, but there's no spiral arms. There's a little dark ring. Yeah, who knows what's going on there? That's crazy. But even further behind that, you got this little guy, and that definitely has a bar. And wow, that looks really complicated. But at least from this vantage point, can't really see a lot of detail. But there's some interesting things going on there. So this is just in the vicinity of our target here. What is this? 673. Did you see 673? These guys. Um, this one might be an NGC object. This one, no, it's too faint. Way too faint. It's going to have. I mean, it probably has a designation of some sort, but it's probably one of those galaxies that have really never been looked at. I mean, there's so many of them that, I mean, we'll never get around to them all. No way. Not a chance.
no.
Not carefully, at least. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's go back and see what else is going on with this bad boy. And you see 673 in the constellation Aries. A couple other names.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of your normal smorgasbord there. Various catalogs and whatnot. Well, some references. Not a whole lot. Oh, here's some distances and velocities. Let's see if there's a little bit of agreement here. Yeah, sort of. Sort of. This one,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty darn close. But let's convert that into light years. I always like to sort of do that.
Yeah. I think it's not only that it may Uncle Bill also said it's true. Go to a good community college for 2 years. Figure out what you really want for cheap. Get certificates along the way, and some employer will pay you for 4 or 6 year degree periods.
Yeah, that's actually
It's
true.
not just that. You gotta make sure that you will be guaranteed that you will have a job when you do.
Yeah, guarantees are hard. Guarantees are pretty hard, but if you get in with a company and intern or volunteer or whatever else, show that you're an asset, they'll ask you to come on board. Yeah, that's how that works. So
Yeah.
so this turns out to be about 200 million light years or so. Pretty good agreement on radial velocity. What about 5,200 kilometers per second moving away from us? So that's a pretty good clip. That's sort of indicative of a distant object as well. And 200 million that's starting to get kind of far away. Kind of, sort of. All right. Well, let's take a look and see if there's anything particularly interesting about this guy. Maybe there was a supernova in it. maybe. Okay, yeah, they're just looking at disk galaxies, supernovae again. Yeah, I wonder if this galaxy sometime before 2016 had some kind of a supernova event. Diversity of type 2 supernova. So type 2 is a single star that is supposedly exploding.
Yeah.
Massive explosion. Let's see. Yeah. Transients. Yeah, see, they're talking about type 2 supernovae again. Supernovae and their host galaxies. Supernova, something about a supernova and this galaxy, I gotta say. So, local hosts of type 1a supernovae, so that's a different kind of supernova. Well, type 1a again, type 1a. So maybe this popped another one. Yeah, huh. Observations of 5 supernovae in 1995 to 1997. Let's see if this thing popped off a supernova. Wouldn't be surprised. Galaxies do that from time to time.
Yeah.
Dang it. I don't think we're going to be able to get to it.
Yeah. And also said in depth, by the time you have the higher degree, you already had the experience to back it up. And you still avoid the depth track like everyone else is in.
Yeah, true. Well, let me search this way. We'll go over to archive, see if it's over there. It may not be. But you got to be a little stubborn about this, like I always say. Oh, I didn't want all fields, but that's all right. Let's see what it comes back with. Oh, okay. That's kind of funny.
There we go.
Yeah, no, that's completely the wrong one, but that's all right. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get to that. Do not have access to it. Those creepy people. Pitch angle. Here we go. Look at that. So there was supernova 2001 FA. Okay, and here's a couple of observations here. So let's take a look. Let's see if we can. This is an IAU circular, so I think those should be available. I hope. It'll just be a short little thing. It's just this. That's all it is. There isn't actually any full text. So let's see. These folks at UCB discovery of a supernova in some unfiltered images taken with the Katzmann automatic imaging telescope.
Here's hoping Betelgeuse went supernova about 642 years ago.
Yeah, well, we're due for a supernova in our galaxy. We're overdue. We're way overdue. So yeah, we're just sort of waiting for something to go. Anyway, so this guy was observed at magnitude 16.9 at on that date, and 16.4, which is a little bit brighter. What about an hour later? Wow. So there's the Aryan in the sky, just a little bit offset. Nice. Okay, so there was another one in 1996. Wow. So this thing is popping up of supernovae like crazy. Don't exactly know why, but it looks like it really is. That's kind of interesting.
Hey, there we go. Nobody wants to hire even a 4 or 6 year engineering degree with 0 experience. But if they start with the technician certification and work the rest of the way, everybody will hire.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. You've got to somehow find a way, to get some experience. That's what that's what helps a lot.
Some schools provide this. I know University of Cincinnati has a very good work-study program. You work half a year, you go to school half a year, and you come out an experienced engineer.
Yep.
And and you're not in debt. I mean, these kids getting degrees in sociology, where at best they're going to land a 20 grand a year job, and they come out of college 100 grand in debt. Gee, what's the sense in that? That makes no sense to me.
It's nasty. It's a nasty game.
Yeah, that is. Sure. Yeah, it is nasty, and that's why colleges are evil.
Well, I don't know if they're evil, but they are definitely challenging. Okay, so here's the one in 1996. Same kind of thing. It's just the IAU circular.
Okay.
Take a look at this one. Wow, just a whole bunch of supernovae popped off on this thing really quickly. So let's see. Beijing Astronomical Observatory. Cool. Taken on October 23rd. Okay, so they've got some other estimates here. Here's a V magnitude of 16.5. And I'm not sure what. Yeah, I guess V about 16. I'm not quite sure how to read this. A little confusing. But anyway, they made some measurements of the brightness. They also took a spectrum, it looks like. So they're seeing silicon and sulfur and iron and calcium. Kind of cool. Sodium.
I think, truth to be told, if I was off to go back to trade school, I think I would have done a lot better with commercial dieting.
Could be. You never know. Well, I am looking at the time, and I'm looking at my mug, and I'm saying I'm out of both. So I think it's about time to get on out of here, and actually I'm going to go. It's starting to get pretty dark out there, so I think I'm gonna set this thing up and grab some photons for a few hours. See what I can do about that. So, all right. So for now, everybody, I'm gonna get out of here. Wow, it is so dry here. It's like my throat is just like 1 second. All right, that's a little bit better. Wow, it is so incredibly dry here. that the air is just sucking
That's
moisture right out. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get on the sky. So everybody have a great evening, a great day, and I will be back here again tomorrow, 2 hours UTC.
Okay, Uncle Bill, I know what you mean.
More astronomy, more Uncle Bill, more of this great stuff. Lots
when
of
you
fun.
gonna get your hair cut?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I just have to get around to doing it. You never know. It'll be a surprise. It'll be a surprise to us all.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. I'm going to get out of here. I will see you later. Live long and prosper.
Hooray.
Okay. Bye.